Hi, folks. This is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report. One thing that I have come to discover this summer, and I said on it another time, I said that this has probably been the greatest summer fishing time, maybe since I was a kid, because I've treated it more like I did when I was a kid. My expectations are similar to when I was young. Fishing has become even more important to me than it has through my whole adult life. And I want to tell you how I fish. I wade. But when I'm alone, I think I become the best of who I can become as a fisherman. When I'm alone, I'm not trying to talk or carry on conversations or think about other wonderful things that's part of the social experience of fishing with friends. But for me, when I'm alone, I get completely fixated on the moments around me. I'm watching the water in a different way, and I can stand out there in the water, in the current, in a place, and sometimes not move for 25 minutes. And I've been aware of this. I'm sort of like a blue heron, and believe me, I fished within feet of a blue heron because both of us were fishing the same way. We were stalking in such a slow, methodical, observant way. We were observing every second what was happening around us. And that's what I do when I'm fishing alone. I may be in a certain pool, and I can change my approach by just sort of watching and feeling what's happening. Maybe I'm reeling too quickly, so I change my approach and I reel it slower. Maybe I feel that the bait that I have on isn't quite the right bait for that pool. So I'll change rather than move and go someplace else because I know there's probably fish in this pool. And I might change the direction of where I throw the lure. Sometimes throwing upstream or across can be better than throwing downstream or vice versa because it will always change the way the lure looks in the water. Every lure is going to wiggle different. It's going to vibrate differently depending on the way you cast it and the direction that you cast, whether it's with or against the current. And so all these things come into play. And I've found that by being still and watching everything around me, I've really come to read the water so much better. I've found that I can stand in a certain position in the water, and the life around me becomes accustomed to me. I'm no longer an invader, an intruder, but I've become one with the water around me. And so I've caught fish within feet of me that when I first entered the pool, they probably just scurried away. Last week, I was fishing a section of the Grass River, and there was 100 geese. There were 100 geese in the water, and they saw me coming, and they stayed within at least 100 yards away from me the whole time. They started moving downstream and so forth. But after a while, I guess they determined I wasn't a threat, and they started swimming back, and they were all around me. They accepted me. I was no longer a threat, and they sort of just went about their business and let me go about my business. And this is one of the joys of fishing for me is I've found I'm becoming a much better fisherman alone than when I go with someone else. Because when you go with someone else, you have to sort of blend. You blend and you compromise with each other. One person might want to fish fast, another slow. One person might want to troll or whatever, and so you sort of accommodate. But when you're alone, you can really, really dwell on the moment around you. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meisner with the North Country Fishing Report.